Shalom and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the Hebrew letters Nun, Samech, and Ayin. Hebrew letter Nun has two forms. Nun for the beginning of a word and a different form for the end of a word, which is called Nun Sofit. The Nun looks like and represents a bent vav, which suggests a humble man. There is a scripture that speaks of the humbleness of this letter, and it says to humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. That's James 4:10. The letter Nun also represents deliverance and life. In Aramaic, which is the language of the Talmud, the word Nun means fish. It is a symbol of activity and life. Christians today see the symbol of the fish as an emblem of the Messiah, Yeshua. Nun has a numerical value of 50. The next letter is Samech, or some people say Samech. The letter Samech is the 15th letter of the Alefbet, the alphabet. It has a numerical value of 60. The pictographic for Samech looks a bit like a shield. The meaning of the letter Samech and the root word means to uphold, to lean upon, and to support. The design of the Samech is a closed circle. A circle represents infinity, as it has no beginning or end. Samech represents the infinite power of God's infinite light. According to the website Chabad.org, Chabad, the numerical value of Samech is the 15th letter of the Alefbet, is 60 numerical value. The priestly blessings recited every morning. There are 15 words, 16 letters. When the Kohen blesses the people, they put their hands together. According to the Mishnah, there are 30 bones in each hand, 60 when the hands are joined, which is a unique prayer or priestly blessing. The results of such blessings are swift and without interruption, similar to the strength of the current mighty waters. The priestly blessings embody the concept of Samech, infinite light and power. Next letter is Ayin, which is the 16th letter of the alphabet. The letter looks like two eyes. It represents knowledge, ideas, seeing, understanding. The word Ayin in Hebrew means eye, to see. It further represents the light, that is the spiritual light of God, which is mentioned in the scriptures, Genesis 1:3. Ayin, like the letter Aleph, is a silent letter. It is said that Ayin sees but does not speak, and therefore represents the attitude of humility, or anuva. Or anava begins with an ayin, as close the word for service, avodah, and yoke. On the other hand, ayin can represent idolatry as well as slavery, both of which are born out of the heart of envy. The number 70 represents the harmony between the nation of Israel and the rest of the nations. They write that the number 70 occurs frequently within Scripture and Jewish tradition. In Scripture, we read that there were 70 souls who went to Egypt. There were 70 elders of Israel that saw the God of Israel on Mount Sinai. There were 70 sacrifices made for the nations during the festival of Sukkot. And Israel was subject to 70 years of exile in Babylon. In Jewish tradition, there are 70 members of the Sanhedrin and 70 words of Kaddish, 70 faces of Torah, 70 names of God, and 70 birth pangs until the coming of the Mashiach. Okay, this concludes our lesson. Remember to learn and memorize these letters, as I will finish going over all the letter meanings of the Hebrew alphabet in 2 lessons. And then we will begin to learn how to read Biblical Hebrew. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a lesson. And these lessons take time, dedication, and effort. Thank you. In Hebrew, you say, Toda.
Catch up. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who are new, and those of you that do not have much knowledge of the Hebrew language, I had started with the Alefbet. I am going to go over first the vowel markers here. All these are markers, okay, that help you read. For instance, this Aleph here is silent without the marker. So for those that are fluent in Hebrew, they do not need the vowels in order to read the language. So, however, when one is first learning to read Hebrew, the vowels are very important. So let's begin with that. If you can see this, it is a little line. Perhaps I can make this bigger. This is a horizontal line, and then a line right underneath it. It looks like a little stick. So that is called the kamatz. And it also looks like a little T. So this is a kamatz, and this is a kamatz. All of these are kamatz. And when you go down here, this is a little line, a little horizontal line, and that's called the patach. It's flat, it's a horizontal line, and it gives the consonant a flat sound of ah, ah. And so does this one here. Ah, ah, ah. So this has the sound of ah, and this one has the sound of ah. So if you look at these 3 little dots, again, I describe them as 3 little eggs, are called the sigol. A sigol is an upside down or upside pyramid of 3 dots, and it gives the consonant the sound of eh, eh. And remember, when you say eh, and you see the 3 little dots, think of eggs, eh, eggs, 3 little eggs. So that would be easy for you to remember. And here they are again, sigol. And now you're going to see 2 little dots right here, and those are called the zadek. Zadek is composed of 2 dots aligned horizontally, and it gives a consonant sound, an eh sound, eh. Some people say a, a, but I say eh. And there's also different pronunciations between, people from different states that have these different accents, and they pronounce things a little bit different. Oh, it's that the pronunciation could be different from Sephardic and Ashkenazi. So the sound is ba. And remember, this little dot here gives it the sound ba. And this without it gives it the sound va. Ga, da. The next one. And I have these here so that you can refer to it quickly if you forget, as I am going over the other letters. So a, ba, va, ga, da. Same sound as these up here. And the next, e, as in eggs. Be, ve, ge, de. Okay, let's look at this one now. Also, if you noticed, it's the same as the one I just did. Okay, so this little added line, it looks like a comma, does not change the sound. So we have be, ve, ge, de. We have the same pronunciation here, and that is be, ve, ge, and de. And notice how it changes right here. And if you can see here with the three dots, these two together doesn't change it. It still is a sound. But when you go here with the two dots as opposed to the three, it changes the sound of a, bay, vey, gay, and they, and they. Okay, the next one.
Shalom again. These are letters that we have learned in lessons 1 through 4 from the Alefbet. And I have taken these letters to form words so we can start reading a little bit because we still have a few more letters to go. The first one is A, Ba, Abba, which means daddy. The next word means brotherhood. A, Chava, Achava. The next word is Adam, Adam, Adam. A next word means stories or parables, folklore, and that is Agada. This is silent. Agada is loving kindness. Ahavat, Ahavat, Chesed, Chesed. Ahava, chesed. Next is a word that means sacrifice. Zevach. And the last one is the 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Lamed. Lamed. Okay.